This is life-changing. It really is.
Tom Newman is on edge. He's about to meet his son for the first time. A son that for 50 years he never knew he had.
He wants to be embraced. Well, he's my son, so we're going to embrace him.
Jim Hayes grew up in a loving Midwestern home. His dad was a policeman, his mom a waitress. There were no secrets in this house.
I was always aware that I was adopted. I also have an adopted brother. We talked about it openly.
In his 20s, Jim became curious about his biological parents. He reached out to the adoption agency, but they could only disclose a little information about his birth mother. He found her, reached out, but she didn't want to meet him.
I was a little bit perturbed, like how could this be? I was probably more surprised than anything. I did ask her about the birth father, and she wasn't willing to share anything.
20 years went by. Jim and his wife had 3 kids, but he always wondered. Then, just last year, friends encouraged him to take a DNA test with Ancestry.com. It came back with unexpected results.
It says, father-child, and I dig deeper in it, and it says, you are a match. This is your parent, and it gives the initials, but there's no name.
It was a moment he had waited for his entire life. But now what?
What do you do with the initials?
After months of internet research, he figured out that the initials TN stand for Tom Newman, a man living in California, married for 44 years to wife Susan, with 2 children of their own. Last March, Jim gave his birth father a call.
Susan picks up. I said, is Tom Newman there?
He started asking questions, and we're kind of, well, what's happening here?
I said, well, are you sitting down?
And I said, why?
Well, it shows on Ancestry.com that we have a father-son relationship, and I'm not the father. Long pause.
Right now, even as I tell you, it's like, what?
He said immediately, like he didn't know. He wasn't shying away from the storyline and the conversation, but he was very surprised.
And so I said, I really need to ponder this or think about this a little bit. It was kind of like, it took us back to, or it took me back, both of us back.
Yes.
Tom had a brief relationship before he was married. Apparently, when they broke up, she was pregnant and never told Tom and gave baby Jim up for adoption. Tom and Jim talked on the phone for months, but couldn't wait to meet.
I have a great family now, and wow.
3 months after that first phone call, father and son are meeting for the first time at Jim's home, along with some of their children and friends.
As we stand here right now, we are literally talking about minutes away from something 50 years in the making. What have you imagined?
I think he's going to lose it, so I just got to hold it together.
Now, you know that about him already. He's an emotional guy.
I'm just putting 2 and 2 together.
Jim, here we come. Ready or not. We have a child for 50 years and didn't know about it. It's kind of like, wow.
Yeah, it's very overwhelming. There he is.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
How are you doing?
I'm sorry. Sorry.
For what?
A reunion 50 years in the making.
Sorry I had to wait 50 years for this, but I'm speechless.
2 families coming together as one. Jim meeting the big family he never knew he had.
It worked out the way maybe it was supposed to work out. We both had good lives, and now we have a great chance of catching up and making new memories.
My last thing I have to say is, what do I start calling him son? You know?